Imagine a world where Deku is bitten by the snake of betrayal. How would this twist of fate change his journey? Let's dive into this alternate reality. We can see a girl in front of two adults. Mom. Dad. Slowly approaches those named. It's a shame those two adults were lying bloody on the ground. Why? Drops to his knees as tears begin to fall from his eyes. The girl begins to cry on the bloody floor next to her parents while her blonde hair contrasts with the darkness of the place. Why is this happening to me? We can see our protagonist sitting in his seat while staring at his knives. Extra 1, whispers, "Hey, isn't that Midoriya?" Extra 2, whispers, "What the hell happened to him?" Extra woman, whispers, "He looks very handsome." Extra 3, whispers, "But hadn't he jumped off a building?" Extra 2, whispers, "Of course, idiot. Why do you think Midoriya and Bakugo were fighting outside?" As expected, the murmurs soon began to appear, much to Izuku's annoyance. He just wanted the damn murmurs to stop so class could start and he could sleep, pretending to pay attention. Since when was this? He didn't know, and he didn't care. He just wanted to be at peace with himself, and with all the assholes he called classmates around him. Extra 1, "Hey Midoriya?" Izuku, "Sai, what do you want?" Extra 1, "So. What the hell happened to you? First we heard you jumped off a building and were in serious condition, but then you showed up here as if nothing had happened." Izuku, "Well, what else could have happened? I jumped off a fucking building, moron. Shame on my luck, or rather, my misfortune. I survived, and since I had nothing to do and was bored, what better way to come than to come to school with all my..." Grips the handle of his knives tightly, "Dear classmates." Extra 2, whispers, "So he really jumped." Extra 3, whispers, "Unbelievable. How the hell did he survive?" Extra 4, whispers, "Isn't it obvious? Midoriya is Jesus Christ." Extra 2 and 3, "What?" Extra 1, "But then, shouldn't you be in the hospital? I mean, you look fine, but..." Izuku, "Look. I don't care if I should be in the hospital. Oh no. I'm fine." Extra 2, "But why the hell did you think of doing such a stupid thing? Mocking, do you value your life so little?" Izuku, grabs the guy's shirt collar and then puts the edge of one of his knives to his neck. "You think you're really funny, don't you, idiot?" Extra 2, "See, calm down, Midoriya. It's just a game, right? Calm down." Izuku, throws the extra to the ground. "TCH. Yeah, right. And answering your first question. The reason I did that stupidity is because I have a shitty mother who hates me for no fucking reason. I also have a sister who gives me third-degree burns every fucking day of my life, and how can I forget my best friend who treats me like garbage and incites me to suicide just because I touched his fragile pride at 5 years old just to help him get up? But I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I know." Starts walking towards the extra while unleashing all his killer instinct. "I also forget my unfortunate classmates, who are fucking hypocrites, and who only care about me when I try to commit suicide." Steps on the extra's torso. "Are those enough reasons for you?" Steps on him harder. Extra 2, "Uck." Izuku continued to step on the extra while his killer instinct began to take the form of a giant snake which began to travel around the room until it was behind Izuku. Izuku's companions watched with a little fear as Izuku stepped on his companion but without saying anything. Izuku, "TSK. You disgust me." Kicks his partner, making him crash into a seat. KGG looks sideways at his partners at the same time as the snake copied his action. "What are you looking at?" Extra 1, scared. Nothing. Starts to back away. Izuku, "Fine." Izuku was going to walk back to his place but the sound of a door opening stopped him, making him look where the sound was, seeing a green-haired girl next to a teacher. "Izumi." Izuku runs to Izuku and then hugs him. "I'm glad you're okay." Izuku, pushes Izumi and then kicks her, causing her to crash into the wall by force. Izumi, "Ugh." Izuku, buries the knife into the wall right next to Izumi's face, grazing it and causing a wound on his cheek. "Who gave you the right to call me that? I'm not your brother, you and I." Approaches Izumi's face where nothing. Pulls the knife from the wall and puts it back in its sheath. Turns around to walk back to his seat. Stops in his tracks. Looks at the teacher. "What are you waiting for? A friend request? Start the fucking class if you don't want me to cut your throat." Sits down in his seat. Teacher, scared. Why, yes. Today we have to talk about the... Starts writing things on the board while continuing to talk. Izuku begins to rock in his seat as he looked out the window at the sky. Hours and minutes passed until the bell rang. The students began to grab their bags and then begin to leave. Among them was Izuku, who wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. When leaving school, Izuku only thought about going to Hasu too. Well, those were his things and he didn't need to overthink them. But his plans were interrupted by the voice of an ash-haired man who spoke to her from behind her. Katsuki, Deku. Izuku, Sai smiles grimly, turns around. Kachan, my good friend Kachan. Walks until he's next to him. He puts his arm on Katsuki's shoulder, leaning on him. What brings you here, old friend? Katsuki pushes Deku away from him. Stop messing around, Deku. What's this about you? Izuku grabs Katsuki's hand and then lifts it up, spinning Katsuki around as if it were an elegant dance. In the middle of the spin, he lets go and then kicks him, causing him to crash into the wall. Oops, sorry. Approaches Bakugo and looks at him with a superior smile. Did you hurt yourself? Katsuki, grrr. Izuku steps back a little. While calm down, doggy. I'm not going to take the bone away from you. Ha 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 ha. Turns around. See you, Kachan. Walks down the road, leaving Katsuki behind. Extra 1, leave school. Oh? Approaches Bakugo, helping him up. Bakugo, are you okay? Why are you there? Looks towards the road, seeing Izuku. Oh. It seems that Midoriya humiliated you. Katsuki, don't give me that shit, damn. Extra. Makes explosions in his hands. Extra 2, barely able to walk because of the bruises. P, it seems like Midoriya has changed. Extra 3, what does it matter? I'm sure tomorrow he'll be the same useless person again. Extra 1, yes, of course. Didn't you see what he did with Bakugo or Izumi? Extra 2, and me? Extra 1, I don't think this is just a one-day thing. Katsuki, looking in the direction where Izuku had gone, clenching his fist tightly. No. Of course not. Time passed. It was too late, almost 3 a.m. and Izuku had just arrived home. But what was the point of staying there? His mother was practically uninterested in his existence, and it's not like she wanted to have to deal with Izumi. Izuku decided to opt for a healthier option for him. He decided that he would sleep on the roof from now on. Of course the wind blew, but it wasn't very different from the cold in his old room, so he would be fine. Leaving his backpack aside, he climbed to the highest point of the roof and then sat down, letting only his silhouette be seen contrasting with the bright moon. Leaving his backpack aside, he climbed to the highest point of the roof and then sat down, allowing only his silhouette to be seen contrasting with the bright moon. Izuku, looking at the moon, extends his hand. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever be able to reach you. Izuku lies on the roof still contemplating the moon and then slowly closes his eyes, finally ending the day. The night passed, and the sun began to rise. In an unfamiliar house, we saw a pair of eyes open due to the sound of an alarm clock. The strong yellow color of the eyes contrasted slightly with the orange color of the dawn. It's still very early. Gets comfortable in bed. Alarm clock, wake up, it's 8 o'clock. Quickly gets out of bed. Wait, what? Grabs alarm clock. Damn, I'm late. Throws away Kala's clothes and gets up quickly. That girl quickly takes off her pajamas, revealing her half-naked body. She quickly goes into the bathroom to take a quick shower, then quickly leaves and goes back into her room to change as quickly as she can. Putting on her panties. Damn, Himiko, how the hell can this happen to you again? The girl known as Himiko Toga runs out of her room as quickly as she finishes dressing. Himiko, I don't have time for breakfast. Luckily I didn't bring my backpack yesterday. Puts on a backpack, then puts a piece of bread in her mouth and runs toward the exit, putting on her shoes as quickly as she can. Himiko ran without paying attention to the others. She didn't want to be late, she couldn't be late. Himiko knew that if she didn't arrive on time, the rumors from her classmates about what she was doing would spread quickly. And if what they were saying about her was already bad, she didn't want to know how far it could go. Unfortunately or miraculously, by a twist of fate, someone would get in her way. Specifically at the intersection, colliding with this person. Himiko, ow. Falls from the crash. What the? Blushes. Why, you're. Izuku, on the ground. I'm sorry. Judging by your speed, I can see you're in a hurry. Extends his hand. Let me help you. Himiko, blushing. Yes, grabs Izuku's hand and then gets up with his help. Izuku picks up Himiko's backpack and then hands it to her. Here. You'd better hurry, or you'll be late. Himiko, that's right. Grabs her backpack and starts running again. Izuku, by the way, nice mask. Himiko stops in her tracks. Huh? Looks back and sees that there's nothing left. What the? Damn classes. Runs out, leaving the place empty. Izuku jumps from a tree until he is back on the sidewalk, seriously looks at the path where Himiko is going. Too bad I can't let that mask break yet. Looks at his school and then looks at the path where Himiko went. Well, it's not like I feel like going to class today. Izuku walked down that road until he reached a school. Izuku knew it well since it was a school close to his own. He had never been inside, so it would be a good opportunity to see what it was like. If he was going to look like a stalker, at least he was going to do it right. Izuku enters the school and then looks for Himiko. There she is. It wasn't that difficult. Starts walking towards her. Extra 1, whispering, did you see that Himiko arrived late? Extra 2, whispers, he must have killed someone on the way. Extra 3, whispers, how scary. Let's get away from her. Extra 4, whispers, they say that if you say Himiko the killer 3 times in the bathroom she will appear and kill you. Extra 5, it's true. My cousin Reggie tried it once and died. Reggie and I talk about it all the time. Izuku thinks, curious. There seem to be some very intense rumors about this girl. I wonder why that is. Izuku approached Himiko a little but stopped before reaching her. She seemed very focused. For her part, Himiko was watching a video on her cell phone of a certain green-haired boy who threw himself into danger to save someone. Toga, looking at her phone with a slight blush in her mind, I can't believe I'm talking to him. Greater than / less than damn. If I didn't have to go to this stupid school I could have stayed talking to him. While Himiko was in her thoughts, a shadow covered her. Himiko raises her head seeing a girl with purple hair. Matsuhiko, oh, well. Look at her, Himiko, the killer. Oh, what are you doing, checking where your next victim is? Grabs Himiko's phone. Himiko, hey. That's mine. Matsuhiko, really? Such a shame. Looks at his phone. Watching that video again, throws phone on the floor and then steps on it, pathetic. It's unbelievable that you're in love with the Mukasei from across the street. PFF, ha, but who am I kidding? You two would make a cute couple of losers. It's almost like a play, the assassin and the Mukasei, PFFF, ha 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 ha. Himiko, KGGG. Clenches her fist tightly. Matsuhiko, what's wrong? Does what I said bother you? Well then, do something. Of course, if you dare. Takes out a knife from his pocket and then places it in Himiko's hand, points the knife at himself. Come on. Dare, Himiko. The only thing you'd be doing would be proving to everyone here that you're a murderer. But let's not kid ourselves, we all know that's the truth. Himiko grips the knife tightly. Her hands start to shake as the urge to stab her neck increases. Matsuhiko, come on, do it. Izuku, hey. Matsuhiko, Looks towards where the hay came from, seeing a giant snake? What the heck? Steps back. What the hell is that? UHA. Steps back, leaving the place. Izuku, TCH. He was coming up really high, but one little snake and that was the end of the show. Himiko looks at the knife in her hands. Throws the knife on the floor, steps back a little size, picks up her phone from the floor. The screen is broken. I can't watch that video anymore. Izuku, next to Himiko, although it is true that that video is already from a long time ago. Himiko, do you think so? Silence. UHA. Steps back in shock. Why, you are. Izuku Midoriya. Bose, that's my name. And yours is Himiko Toga, right? Himiki, blushing a little. Why, yes, in her mind she knows my name. Says H, how do you know? Izuku, oh, well. Let's just say a snake told me. Himiko, and what are you doing here? Izuku gets a little closer to Himiko. I'm here for you, Himiko. Himiko acts like a tomato, huh? Izuku steps back. I need you to come with me, Himiko. Himiko, blushing. It's too early for that. And
Izuku, I don't mean that, I need you to accompany me for other reasons.
Himiko, sigh, even if I wanted to go I still have to go to class. Izuku, oh, I see. Sigh, then I'll wait for you until the end of the day. It's really important that you come with me. Himiko, but why? Izuku, it's something I can't say right now. But if you come, you'll get something interesting. The only thing I ask is that you wait for me and come with me when the day is over. Himiko thinks sounds suspicious. But also interesting. Says okay. Izuku, fine. Extra 2, whispers, hey, who the hell is that? Extra 1, whispers, why is the killer near Himiko? Extra 4, whispers he's crazy. Extra 3, whispers no doubt. Izuku, TCH. Activates his killer instinct. Extras, step back. Izuku, deactivates his killer instinct, looks at Himiko. There's something that's been bothering me for a while, Himiko-san. Himiko, what is it? Izuku, why do they call you Himiko the killer? Himika, looks down. If I tell you, you might hate me. Izuku, nah. I don't think so. It can't be that bad. Himiki, sighs. When I was a child, my parents were murdered. Since no one was around and I was the only one there, I was the prime suspect. N. Starting a flashback, we can see Himiko as a child being surrounded by a bunch of shadows. Himiko, crying, sniff pee, please. Tries to wipe away tears, stop. Sniff. Shadow 1, monster. Shadow 2, psychopath. Shadow 3, beast. Shadow 4, murderer. Shadow 5, give him the death penalty. Shadow 6, kill her. Shadow 7, may he never see the light of day again. Himiko, tries to wipe away tears. I didn't do anything. Sniff, please. Believe me. N. Coming back to reality, we can see a tear running down Himiko's cheek. Himiko, fortunately, the evidence wasn't sufficient, and I was acquitted of all charges. But people still believe I was the one who killed my parents. Izuku, serious, and it was you? Himiko, remembers in her little girl voice, Mom. Dad. Says if I tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't remember anything from that day. Izuku, I see. Well, strokes Himiko's head. It's no use overthinking it too much, don't you think? Himiko, well. I guess so. N. The bell began to ring, marking the start of Himiko's classes. Himiko, looks like I have to go to class. Izuku, it seems that way. It would be problematic if they saw someone from another school here. So I'll wait for you around here. Jumps and disappears. Himiko, how did he do that? Well, I have to go to class. N. Himiko headed to her classroom in front of Izuku. Hours and classes passed, and finally, it was time for lunch. This time, Himiko hoped to run into Izuku again. However, he didn't appear, so after a while, she gave up searching and sat down to eat peacefully. Himiko looks at the broken screen of her cell phone, unconsciously closes her hand as if grabbing a knife. The truth is that scared me. It scared me, because it felt so good. Matsuhiko, huh? Himiko eating alone again? Himiko, leave me alone for once, will you? Matsuhiko, it seems you don't understand, right? Throws food at Himiko, grabs Himiko by the collar. Do you really think I would leave you alone knowing you're a murderer? Himiko, I'm not a murderer. Matsuhiko, oh no? Pushes Himiko, look around, pulls a knife from his back. Himiko, N. As soon as she pushed me, I could see them. All my classmates looked at me with hatred. Their gazes seemed crimson while whispers were present. Extra 1, whispers Himiko, the killer plans to claim another victim, right? Extra 2, whispers how annoying to have to deal with a murderer day after day. Extra 3, whispers they should have killed her while they could. Extra 4, don't worry. As soon as she gains her next life, she and her miserable life will no longer be a problem. Matsuhiko, you see it, Himiko. You are and always will be a murderer to all of us. Smiles, come on, Himiko, admit it already. Throws the knife at Himiko. Himiko, grabs the knife by the handle almost by luck, thinks why. Squeezes the knife tightly, why does it feel so good to have it in my hands? Looks at Matsuhiko, it would be so simple. Smiles a little, just take one step. Just let the blade pierce through her flesh. Matsuhiko, what are you waiting for, Himiko? Try to kill me if you can, cowardly murderer. Even if you refuse, things will never change. You'll never be normal. You'll always be a murderer. N. The camera starts to move slowly. Matsuhiko looks down a little, seeing a blonde hair in front of her and a maniacal smile. Matsuhiko, huh? Feeling the tip of a knife on his neck. Is she? I see. I'll die like this, won't I? Maybe I shouldn't have done this. A tear runs down his cheek. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. N. Time returns to normal, but the knife never pierces the girl's neck. Matsuhiko, huh? Looks ahead, seeing a green head of hair. Izuku grabs Toga's wrist, preventing her from burying the knife. I didn't think they would be able to break it so quickly. Toga, why? You steps back, smiles. What does it matter? They are right, it's time for me to accept who I am. I am a murderer and that's all I will ever be. Izuku, don't do this. Himiko walks slowly towards Toga. Himiko, why? I'm a killer and I know this is what I'm supposed to do. Izuku, so what if you're a murderer? That doesn't have to be bad. Himiko, huh? Steps back, thinks, what does that mean? Izuku, look at me. Himiko. Izuku extends his arms, releasing all his killer instinct, managing to make all the students present retreat from the pressure. Himiko swallows, thinks this is. Izuku turns off his instinct. See? I'm a killer too. Approaches Himiko until he's in front of her, and yet that doesn't stop me from wanting to be a hero. Himiko, huh? Izuku. Himiko grabs Himiko's shoulders until she's very close to her. What do you want to be? Do you want to be just an assassin or do you want to be more than just that? Himiko, what? Izuku, Himiko. You can be so much more than just an assassin. And if you don't trust that, then trust those who trust you. Himiko, and who would that be? Didn't you see these people? Ha ha ha, no one trusts me. Izuku, that's not true. Hugs Himiko. Himiko. I trust you. Toga thinks, huh? Why? Is he hugging me? A slight smile forms on her face. I could kill him now. But then why? Drops the knife. Why does it feel so good? Small tears start to fall from her face. Oh. I think I'm starting to remember. A memory floods Himiko's mind. In it, we see Himiko as a child with two adults next to a campfire at night. We can see tents and many trees, implying that they are camping. Himiko, girl, catches a firefly with her hands. I got you. He, my mommy would like it. The girl runs as fast as she can until she is in front of her mother. Himiko, mommy. Look. You show her the firefly but it flies away. Hey. Himiko's mother, JM, it seems the firefly didn't like you. Himiko, but it took me a long time to catch her. TT. Himiko's mother, strokes her daughter's hair. Don't worry, you'll catch another one. After all, there are plenty around here. Himiko, but I wanted that. TT. Himiko's father, appearing with firewood in his arms. Isn't that the one over there? Points behind Himiko. Himiko, where? Looks back but sees nothing. There's nothing there. Gets depressed. Himiko's father, leaving the firewood on the floor. Sorry. Sits next to his wife and then strokes Himiko's hair. It was just a joke. Himiko, well, it wasn't funny. Crosses her arms and then looks to the side while puffing out her cheeks. Himiko's father, huh? Are you mad at me? Himiko, yes. Sticks out her tongue. Himiko's father, so that's what we have, huh? Then grabs Himiko and then lifts her up. Himiko, Kia. Put me down. Himiko's father, I refuse. The father throws himself on the ground holding his daughter in front of him and then leaves her at his side. Himiko and her father, ha ha ha. Himiko's father, stops laughing, stares at the stars. Himiko. Himiko's father, you think you're a hero, don't you? Himiko, yes. Just like my grandfather. Himiko's father, Himiko, being a hero is a very dangerous thing. But if that's what you want to be, then let me let you know that your mother and I trust you. Himiko, he hugs her father. Thanks, Daddy. Himiko's mother, very well. You two, get up and let's go to the tent, it's already very late. Himiko, that's not fair. Himiko's father, your mother is right, miss. It's time to sleep. The scene changes radically, showing Himiko's mother in front of her with a shocked face and a knife through her neck, falling dead in front of her. Himiko, Mom. Himiko's father, with a gun in his hand, crying. Himiko loads the gun. We trust you. Puts the barrel of the gun to his mouth and then shoots, falling dead in front of it. Himiko approaches the corpses a little and then lets herself fall to her knees, beginning to cry while some yellow eyes that watched her from the darkness quickly disappeared, returning to the present. Himiko thinks, why did I forget that? Why did I remember that? Why do I feel so confused? Feels a tear run down her cheek. Why? Why am I crying? Mom. Dad. I. Bursts into tears, sobs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Izuku hugs Himiko. Calm down. Cry all you want, no one will judge you. The hug lasted a short time, as Izuku stood up, separating from Himiko, and then looked towards where the girl named Matsuhiko was, who was still on the ground, scared. Izuku, and you? Looks angrily at the extra while the snake appeared behind her showing its crimson eyes. It slowly approached her until it was in front of her, crouches down to be at her height. You have spent time accusing Himiko of something she wasn't, that you could never see what you were. It's true. Puts a hand on the girl's shoulder while activating her killer instinct, making it look like a snake which was beginning to coil around her body. So for once in your life I ask you to stop being a bitch who treats others badly and think a little more about the consequences. Smiles darkly. Did you understand, extra? Matsuhiko, yes. The snake reaches his neck and starts squeezing it, leaving it a little breathless. Yes, if you understand. Please. Stop. This. Tries to grab the snake but only mischievously. Izuku releases it, making the snake disappear. Good. I'm glad you understood. The girl was left on the ground scared while she grabbed her neck gently and fearfully. Izuku approaches Himiko. Himiko extends her hand. Do you want to come with me? Toga looks up, seeing Izuku in contrast to the sun, blushing just by looking at him. Yes. Extends his hand. Izuku helps Himiko up. With your permission. Carries Himiko bridal style and then takes a big leap, escaping from the school. Izuku arrives at the street carrying Himiko and then drops her. Izuku, are you okay? What happened there was really intense. Toga, yeah. I'm fine, just a little confused. Is it wrong that I wanted to kill her? Is it wrong that just the thought of seeing her bleed gets me excited? Izuku, I don't think it's wrong. Everyone has their murderous streaks, or at least I think so. But ultimately it all depends on who you use it on. I already told you, Himiko, I'm a murderer. But that doesn't stop me from using it to be a hero. Himiko, you make it sound like it's easy. Izuku, it's not easy. But it's not impossible either. Looks at Himiko. Himiko, what would you think if I gave you the chance to be a hero? Himiko, Looks at Himiko. Can you do something? Izuku, yes, I can do it, but you have to agree. Himiko, as a child, I always wanted to be a hero, just like my grandfather. But I never could because of my kosei. If you give me that chance, then why not try? Looks at Izuku. Izuku smiles. Okay, then let's go. Himiko, yes, follows Izuku on a path unknown to her. Izuku and Himiko walk along the path until Izuku decides to enter a sewer. Himiko hesitates a little but finally enters. Inside the sewer, they walk a while longer until they reach a large door. Inside it was an engraving of 6 animals along with several others surrounding these 6, and in the center, a dragon with a crown. Izuku turns and looks at Himiko before entering. I need you to do something. Himiko, doubtful. What? Izuku cuts his wrist, drawing a lot of blood. Kneel down. Himiko, why? Izuku, just do it. Himiko, it's okay, I think. Kneels. Izuku puts his arm over Himiko's head. Baby. Himiko blushes. He? Izuku, drink my blood. Himiko, yes. Himiko licks Izuku's wrist a little to start sucking his blood. She had a noticeable blush when she finished swallowing the blood. Izuku bandaging himself. I know it's disgusting, but it's so you wake up in the end. Himiko, wake up? Izuku, you'll see. Izuku opens the door, revealing 6 columns bathed in a mystical light. Each one had an engraving depicting an animal. One had a snake, another a spider, and the rest were completely hidden. Of the 6 columns, 4 were empty, and 2 had something on them. Izuku, seriously? Himiko, these columns have the Animalia weapons on top. Himiko, Animalia weapons? Izuku, that's right. They're weapons capable of granting their wielders an ancient, lost power. I possess one of these. Shows her his knives. Because I was chosen by the serpent. And you, Himiko Toga, have been chosen by the Spider Queen. Both go up a staircase until they are in front of the columns, specifically in front of the column with the engraving of a spider. In the column were found 3 pairs of daggers with a figure of a small spider on the guard and the edge rusted. Izuku, Himiko, before we begin, I must warn you of one thing. If you choose to wield this weapon, you will lose all traces of what we call kosei. Himiko, I mean. Izuku, that's right, in exchange for the power the weapon gives you, you'll lose your kosei. Even knowing this, do you wish to continue? Himiko looks down, thinking about it for a moment, then looks at him determinedly. I told you. If there's a possibility, why not try? Izuku smiles. I figured you'd say that. Now, you'll have to cut your wrist and bathe the daggers in your blood. Hands one of his knives to Himiko. Himiko grabs the knife and then cuts her wrist. Gives the knife back to Izuku, extends her arm over the daggers, letting her blood fall. And the blood falls on the 6 daggers. Because of this they began to shine until they looked like new. Himiko, incredible, grabs the daggers. Thinks my head faints, dropping the daggers. Izuku grabs Himiko before she falls to the ground. Good luck, lays Himiko down on the ground. And we see Himiko in the dark and then see how a scene begins to form around her. Himiko opens eyes. Where am I? Wow. So it's you, huh? Himiko, looks back seeing a giant spider. Himiko, but what? Himiko, but what? Thinks, why don't I feel anything? I don't feel fear, nor panic. Ha, I like the smell you give off. Walks on all 8 legs until she's in front of Himiko, the smell of a killer. Ha, don't worry about not feeling anything, darling, think of it as a way to reinvent yourself. Himiko looks at her hand, reinvent herself. Looks at the spider. Who are you? You finally ask, dear. You can call me Spider Queen. Himiko, Spider Queen, why am I here? You're here because I chose you, and you accepted me. Himiko, I did it, right? Looks at the ground. Himiko, you chose me and I had chosen you a long time ago, but to make this official I want you to answer me something. Himiko, what is it? Himiko, what are you? Himiko, what am I? For a long time, I've been told I'm just a murderer, a sadist, practically a monster. So that's what you are? Starts walking around her children while several small spiders come out of the ground and then start walking towards Himiko. A sadist, a murderer, a monster? Himiko, no. Not entirely. Smiles. Maybe I am a little sadistic, maybe even a little crazy. But I'm not a monster. What does it matter what I am? What does it matter if I'm a sadist? What does it matter if they say I'm a murderer? The only one who knows who I am is myself. So who are you, dear spider? Himiko, clenching her fist with determination, I am Himiko Toga, a sadistic and slightly crazy girl who will be a heroine. So that's what you are? Himiko, yes. Points to herself, this is who I am. And the spiders begin to wrap Himiko with their webs in a cocoon which breaks, showing Himiko with a new appearance. Although her hairstyle was the same, now she had a red scarf around her neck. Also the top of her clothes was now a black shirt which had an open black vest with a cobweb design, in addition to orange shoulder pads also with a cobweb design. At the bottom of her clothes she had a black skirt with blood red edges. And already arriving at her shoes she had long black socks and normal black sneakers. Smiles. Congratulations, Himiko Toga. You have passed my test. Stands on top of Himiko. You are worthy of possessing the secret of the spiders. 6 small spiders peek out from her back and then jump. As they fall they begin to transform into 3 pairs of daggers. Himiko grabs the 6 daggers. It is a great honor for my Spider Queen. Himiko, I want you to keep something else in mind before you wake up. The daggers I gave you aren't just a weapon, they're also my children. So please take good care of them. Himiko, I will. Looks around. It seems you're about to wake up. Himiko, being a forced awakener, won't be entrusted with any missions. But my duty as your guardian is to show you the reason behind everything. Himiko, revel in the truth. And the Spider Queen touches Himiko's forehead, releasing an intense glow. Meanwhile, in real life. Izuku, with a snake in his hand. You're really nice, my friend. I think I'll give you a name. What about Serpai? Serpai, SSSSSZZZZ nods his head happily. Izuku, he. Himiko, uk. Izuku, looks like you're awake, Serpai. He places Serpai on his shoulder and then sees Himiko approaching with a pair of robes in her hands. Himiko opens eyes, straightens up. That was really intense. Looks at Izuku. I'm glad to see you. Smiles. Izuku, I'm happy too, Himiko. Himiko looks at Izuku's arms, looking at the clothes. Huh? What is that? Izuku, they're clothes. Some spiders left them next to you a while ago. Himiko gets up and then takes the clothes. Izuku, oh, and by the way. Takes something out of her bag. Congratulations, Himiko. Holds out her hands, giving her 2 sheaths, each with 6 dagger slots. Himiko smiles, thanks. Izuku puts the daggers in the sheath. Hey Izuku. Can you wait for me outside? Izuku, sure. Izuku leaves the room, standing right at the door. After a while, Himiko comes out wearing the clothes that were formed in her test, but adding the dagger sheaths to the sides of her skirt. Himiko, blushing, how do I look? Izuku, you look beautiful. Himiko, blushes, hee, thanks. A loud bang is heard, alarming Himiko and Izuku, both of whom look towards the door, which moves until it is completely closed. Izuku, looks like the door has closed for good. Well, it's not like we have anything else to do here. Let's head back to the surface. Himiko and Izuku climb the stairs at the exit of the pipes, arriving at a street in front of a half-cleaned beach. Himiko, stretches, it was really a tiring day, yawns, when I get home I think I'll sleep all day, hee. Izuku, rest, you deserve it. Himiko, and what will you do now? Izuku, me? I think I'll go to the roof of my house and stay there, it's not like I have anything better to do, whispers, or somewhere else to go. Himiko, listens to this last thing, don't you have anywhere to go? Izuku, not really. Let's just say the word family doesn't mean much to me in my house. But it's not like I can do much. Himiko, well, I live alone and I don't have the money to pay the expenses, plus I could really use the company and blushes, what I mean is, do you want to live with me? Izuku, huh? Himiko, tomato mode on, yeah, well, I think that would be the most convenient. You don't have anywhere to go, I live alone, and I want company, plus the expenses and Izuku, interrupting Himiko. Himiko, yeah? Izuku, smiles, I would love to live with you. Himiko, really? Izuku, yeah, and don't worry about the money. I make enough with my job. Himiko, oh. So, it's official? Izuku, well, yes. I think so, hee. Himiko, okay. Then let's go home. Himiko and Izuku walk together in the same direction, all in view of the twilight, thus ending their day. UA Academy, the largest and most prestigious academy in Japan, where great heroes like All Might and Eraserhead were born. For every teenager who dreams of being a hero, their goal is this academy. However, getting in isn't easy. Only those with the best grades and the best physical abilities can enter. And today, the entrance exams will finally be held. We see a completely empty beach, the wind blowing as the waves crashed against the sand. A shadow appears against the sun, the shadow retreats searchingly, managing to see Himiko, who is breathing heavily. Izuku, slowly walking towards Himiko with his knife in his hands, is that all? Himiko, panting, no. She runs towards Izuku again to throw two of her daggers at him. Izuku steps back, dodging the two daggers. Himiko takes advantage of Izuku's retreat to throw two X-shaped slashes at him. Izuku grabs Himiko's arms and then repels them and gives Himiko a stab kick. Himiko steps back and then loses her balance and falls to the ground. Izuku puts his knives back into their sheaths. That's enough. Himiko, huh? But I was just warming up. Izuku, yeah, sure. Walks toward Himiko and then extends his hand. It's best if we leave the training here. Tomorrow is the UA entrance exam, and it's best if we arrive there with enough energy. Himiko, well. Grabs Izuku's hand and then gets up with his help. I guess you're right. Himiko and Izuku walk towards their house to prepare dinner and prepare their weapons for the entrance exam. After eating and washing the dishes, Himiko goes to bed to stay energized in the morning. On the other hand, Izuku stayed for a while on the roof of the house watching the moon while the night breeze carefully moves his hair to its rhythm. Izuku, Sai extends his arm towards the sky. Bakugo. Izumi. Clenches his fist tightly. I swear. I will destroy them. Izuku's hateful gaze was complemented by glowing yellow snake eyes, giving him a terrifying touch. The next day, we see Izuku and Himiko in front of UA while many different people entered around them. Toga, wow, that's big. Izuku, that's right, it's undoubtedly the most prestigious high school in Japan. Thinks this place will be my starting point. The place where I'll show Bakugo and Izumi that I'm superior to them. Himiko looks at Izuku. What are you thinking, Izuku? Izuku, I wasn't really thinking about much, I was just thinking about kicking my idiot sister's ass and destroying Bakugo's pride. Toga, why, you're a little scary when you get like that. Izuku, sorry, scratches his neck. We better go inside. Izuku and Himiko enter together through the main entrance of UA. When they get close to the door to enter the building, Izuku trips. As he was falling, Izuku thought about doing a quick acrobatic move to avoid falling and get back up. However, His thoughts were interrupted because he never fell. I'm sorry for using my kosei on you, but it would be bad luck if you fell on the first day, don't you think? Stands up Izuku and then puts his fingertips together, freeing Izuku. Izuku, thank you very much, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Himiko, and I'm Himiko Toga. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I'm Uraka Ochako. I'm here for the entrance exam for the Heroes course. Izuku, really? That's funny. We're also going to the Hero course exam. Uraka, really? That's great. I wish you both the best of luck. Enters the academy while waving goodbye to Izuku and Himiko. Izuku, what a nice girl. Himiko, with a noticeable jealous face how nice. Huh? Izuku, Looks at Himiko, is something wrong? Himiko, smiling no, nothing. Both enter the academy building where they take the written exam. After completing it and leaving the room, they both go to the presentation room where the conditions of the practical exam will be explained. Present mic, hello everyone, everybody say yeah. Everyone fell silent. Izuku, thinks, are you serious? Present mic, what a boring audience. Okay, gentlemen of boring land, for your boredom, I'll explain the practical exam. Clears throat, my ma, 3 sad tigers, 3 sad tigers. Ajum, are you ready? Yeah. Silence. Again. Izuku, thinks, why did he think it would work this time? Present mic, the test they will have to participate in is a simulated urban combat battle, in which they can carry whatever they want. Izuku, whispers, then there will be no problem with us using our weapons. Present mic, as soon as the presentation is over, you'll have to go to the assigned combat center, okay? Izuku, so we'll have the disadvantage of not having allies in the battle, huh? Looks at his card, I got Zone B. Looks at Himiko, which one did you get, Himiko? Himiko, Zone C. Katsuki, looking from behind at Izuku, and Himiko looks at his card, so I'll be in Zone A, TSK. Now I won't be able to crush Deku. Izuku, thinks you couldn't even if you tried, explosive blonde. Izumi, sitting next to Bakugo, I match with that girl who is next to my brother. Sigh. Presenter, in addition to the other participants, you won't be alone on the battlefield. There are 3 types of false villains in each combat area. You'll earn points by defeating them based on their difficulty. Your objective, my dear listeners, is to use your kosei to earn points by immobilizing these villains. Of course, attacking other students, as well as other non-heroic actions, is prohibited. Izuku and Bakugo, whisper shit. Raises hand, can I ask something? Present mic, okay. The green-haired boy looked curiously at the man and raised his hand. It was a well-uniformed boy with straight posture, glasses, and noticeable blue hair. He was standing right in front of him. In this photocopy, there are 4 villains. If this is a printing error, then UA, the most prominent school in all of Japan, should be ashamed of that silly mistake. Izuku sharpens his gaze, TSK. Thinks how nice he seemed to be. We, the aspirants present here, have come to be exemplary heroes. How do you expect us to become one with mistakes like these? Or with people as distracting as the one with the curly green hair? Looks at Izuku, you've been whispering the whole time. If you're just here to hang out, then leave immediately. A strong pressure begins to be felt, disturbing several people in the room. Izuku, with his killer instinct active, shut up. Takes out his 2 knives and then makes a parallel downward cut, opening an opening towards the row in front with, at your ideals and your righteousness bullshit, you're only bothering others. Claiming to know everyone's objective. Ha, what bullshit. Stands behind the blue-haired man to put the edge of one of his knives to his neck. I assure you 2 things, President. 1. Most of these people come just for fame or money. I'm no one to judge, but that's the reality. And 2, don't interrupt the presentation just to talk about things as stupid as a fucking failure in a role that nobody cares about. Puts away his knife. If mommy and daddy don't give you enough attention at home, there are better ways to get attention. Turns off his killer instinct while sitting down. You can continue talking. Present mic. Present mic, gulps. Yeah. Thanks, participant number 2234. And in response to your message number 7111, the 4th villain is worth 0 points. It's an obstacle, so to speak. There's one in each combat center, and the obstacle will attack you if you get together in a narrow space. It's not possible to defeat, but it's not necessary either. I recommend you avoid it. Bose, thank you very much, and I'm sorry for the interruption. Sits down. Present mic, well, that's all from me. Finally, I'll give you all a gift, our institute's motto. The legendary Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "A true hero is one who rises above life's misfortunes. Go beyond, plus ultra." And, after the introduction, Izuku and Himiko went their separate ways to their respective battle centers. In Center B, there were some familiar faces for Izuku, like the annoying blue-haired boy, also known as Uraka. Izuku, did I bump into Uraka? Maybe I should go say hi. Walks toward Uraka. Lita, gets in her way. Stop right there. You're heading toward that brunette, aren't you? Aren't you embarrassed? That girl is too focused to talk to anyone. Are you thinking of bothering that girl? Izuku, grabs the handle of his knife. Shut up. You're nobody to tell me what the hell to do, you idiot. Present mic, over the speaker. Is everyone in their seats? Izuku, TSK, drops the handle of his knives and then walks away from the boy. Extra 1, it seems that the green-haired boy's wings have been clipped. Extra 2, wasn't that the boy who tripped and almost fell in the entrance? Extra 3, wow, that must be very pathetic. Extra 4, look on the bright side. At least it's one less person to worry about. N. Everyone remains silent while a strong pressure begins to be felt. Many fall to their knees while others struggle to breathe. The brown-haired girl, who was far enough away so that nothing would happen to her, saw this with a little fear. While the blue-haired man knelt on the ground clutching his head. Og. What? Og. What? Is. This? Looks with difficulty at Izuku, who looked like many black snakes were coming out of his back. Izuku, what were you saying? Come on, say it again. I'll just break a couple of your bones. That's all. N. A loud noise is heard calling everyone's attention. Izuku deactivates his killer instinct while turning his head to the fence which had just opened. Present mic, what are you waiting for, a countdown? In real life, there's no countdown. N. Everyone opens their eyes in shock. Due to what had just happened, some were still in shock, but forcing themselves to wake up, they all begin to run towards the battlefield. Sin Izuku walked slowly while taking out his knives. Izuku, let the hunt begin. N. Meanwhile, in a dark room inside the UA. There are a lot of promising young people this year, don't you think? Looks at a person on his left. All Might, staring at the ground in silence with a sad look. Toshinori? All Might, yes, looks at the person? Who was next to him. What were you saying, Nezu? Nezu, Toshinori, what's wrong? You're distracted. Did something bad happen? All Might, no. Nothing happened. I was just thinking. N. All Might looks down at the ground again, while his head replayed a memory that filled him with guilt. All Might, walking in his skeletal form through the city with his cell phone in his hand, thinks, shit. Why aren't you answering, young Midoriya? I've already called his cell phone 12 times, but he still hasn't answered. N. All Might collides with a civilian retreating at the moment. All Might, I'm sorry. Looking ahead, he sees a large crowd which was whispering many things. Extra 1, what is that kid doing there? Extra 2, are you going to jump? Extra 3, of course he's going to jump, idiot. Extra 4, ha, Latino Medica be like. Extra 1, damn, someone do something. All Might, turning to Extra 3, excuse me, but what's going on? Extra 3, at the top of the building. All Might, looks up at the top of the building, eyes widening in shock. Is that the one? N. At the top of the building, you can see a young man with dark green hair who was looking down with a blank look, and who simply let himself fall. All Might, young Midoriya. N. The sound of the impact against the ground echoed throughout the street, scaring everyone. All Might ran towards Izuku's dying body, which he was desperately trying to keep alive. All Might, an ambulance. Call an ambulance. And call the heroes. Please. N. People began calling for the ambulance, while others searched the surrounding area for heroes, some trying to keep Izuku alive. Soon the heroes arrived, although no one could do anything since according to them they didn't have the correct kosei. A few minutes later the paramedics arrived and put Izuku in the van. All Might tries to get in, however a hero stops him. Hero 1, excuse me, but are you related to the victim? All Might, no but. Hero 1, then I'm sorry, but I can't allow you to go up. N. The ambulance drives off, leaving All Might feeling guilty and uncertain. Returning to the present, All Might sighs. All Might thinks I've completely lost track of his whereabouts. I don't know where he is, I don't even know if he's alive or in a coma. Nezu, snaps All Might. Are you paying attention? All Might, ah, yes. I think this year the exams will be something interesting. The explosion boy looks strong, don't you think? And the fire girl is great. Look at that boy. And everyone sees a screen in which a green-haired boy is seen walking calmly but seriously. Nezu, it seems like he doesn't take it seriously. Definitely has no potential. They should take it out. All Might, shock that's. Nezu, looks at All Might. What's up, Toshinori? Do you know him? N. On the screen is shown Izuku surrounded by many three-point robots. The green-haired man looks at the robots around him. He only sighs while placing his hands on the handle of his knives. A robot quickly runs towards Izuku and then launches a downward blow. Izuku just takes a big jump, dodging the attack and falling on top of the robot's arm since it had been buried in the ground. Then he takes a step back, dodging a punch from another robot. Then he propels himself a little forward and then ducks, skidding with a kick, passing under the fist of the second robot and dodging another attack at the same time. The rest of the robots launch themselves to attack at the same time. Izuku sharpens his gaze and then takes a big leap. In the air, Izuku takes out his two knives, leaving the one in his right hand in the form of an ice pick, then spins in the air holding his knives, forming around the tip of these a giant black snake. Izuku stops the spin, throwing the large snake, which falls, devouring all the robots at once and a piece of the floor. Izuku falls on the ground in front of the giant snake, which breaks into a pile of small snakes which disappear. What just happened? I defeat all those robots like it's nothing. Even I'm impressed. All Might thinks, is that really Midoriya Shonen? That look he has. It's different from what I remember. Also, did he awaken his Kosei? What the heck are those snakes? Nezu takes a sip of tea. Wow, that student really gave us a big surprise, don't you think? Yes, I guess so. I wonder what other surprises we'll have. N. On the battlefield we see Izuku looking at the amount of scrap around him. Izuku, TSK, I expected something more complicated. N. Izuku begins to look around. He sees the blue-haired man kicking a robot, destroying it as if it were nothing. Then he sees Uraka, who made the robots levitate and then let them fall. Izuku, I can't stay behind. Gets into combat stance, snake encounter. N. Izuku begins to run with greater speed, leaving a kind of trail in the shape of a black snake. While running, he jumps and then launches a cross-cut, splitting a robot in half. He then pushes himself with the metal of the robot that he split in half and then attacks another robot with his knives, always leaving a large snake trail in his wake. In the dark room, the teachers saw the students destroy several robots. It's been a while since we started the exam. Don't you think it's time to send it, Director? Nezu, yes, you're right. Looks at a big red button. The real test begins now. Presses the button. N. On Izuku's battlefield, a large tremor begins to occur, stopping everyone's fighting. Izuku finishes cutting off a robot's head and then stops. Extra 1, N, it can't be. Extra 2, A, it's still very early, I don't think so. Extra 3, V, we are going to die. N, a large hand landed on a building, revealing the body of a giant robot. The students were beginning to tremble, and some were already quickening their pace. Extra 1, watch out. It's 0 points. Extra 2, run. N, several students start running, some colliding with Izuku, who just stood there without saying anything. Izuku, sigh, they're cowards. Even so, I don't think I'll fight him, it's a waste of time. He doesn't even give me points, and I have enough to pass. Izuku turns around with the intention of leaving, but a scream stops him. Uraka, help.
I can't get out.
Izuku, Uraka. Starts running towards the robot and Uraka. N. In the dark room someone asks Nezu. Principal Nezu, that student is trapped. I know what the 0 points intention is, but what if the 0 point attacks her? She could even die from a blow like that. Nezu, don't worry, the 0 point is programmed and built to stop when his fist is too close to an organic material and it shows no signs of fighting back. The girl won't die. Besides, looks at the screen, the 0 point is there for a reason. N. Izuku quickly arrives at Uraka's side, who had her foot caught in a large piece of rubble. Izuku takes out one of his knives from its sheath and then buries it in the rubble, then buries the knife with his leg, breaking the large piece of cement. Turns his gaze slightly, seeing how a large fist heads towards the two of them, takes out his other knife and then runs in front of the fist, stopping the robot's fist, revealing a large snake at the same time. Run, Uraka. Uraka tries to get up.
Falls again N. I can't, it seems I twisted my ankle.
Izuku, shit. Moves his knife to the side, causing the robot's fist to fall to the ground. Izuku jumps on the fist and starts running on his arm. N. The people from the exam and the teachers in the dark room could see how a large black snake began to form, coiling around the robot's body as Izuku ran. Izuku reaches the robot's shoulder and then takes a big leap in the air. Izuku puts his knives in the form of an ice pick, looking at the ground while he lets himself fall. N. Izuku buries his two knives in the robot's head, allowing those present to see the head of the snake, which attacks the robot from the air, colliding with its head. The robot's head explodes and then the robot's body explodes. All this while Izuku falls to the ground with a large explosion in the background. Izuku activates the snake control in the air, landing on both legs without any damage to them. Approaches Uraka. It would be too stupid to ask if you're okay, so if you give me permission. Carries Uraka in a bridal manner. Let me take you to an infirmary. Uraka, blushing from the embarrassment of being carried. Yes, yes. N. Izuku walks carrying Uraka, heading towards where the students were gathered. Meanwhile, in the dark room. Nezu, you see, no one was hurt. The goal of 0 points was always to find out who has the will of a hero. All Might, ultimately, a hero needs 3 things: good kosei skills, strategic intelligence, and heroic will. Nezu, that's right. And thanks to that, we can assess the rescue points. I see. Well, I'm glad no one got hurt. I really appreciate you letting me see the tests. Nezu, you're welcome, young Tagata. All Might, it's the least we can do after that thing. Mirio, I know, and don't worry, I won't say anything. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go get ready for the new school year. I'll see you. Leaves the room, leaving the other heroes alone. All Might looks at the screen, seeing Izuku, thinks young Midoriya. I'm glad to see you're okay. No. I'm glad to see you're alive. I see that despite everything, you still have the true will of a hero. N. On the battlefield, before Izuku could go to the infirmary, an old woman with a cane syringe appears in front of everyone. Good work. Is anyone hurt? Izuku, yes, she twisted her ankle. Leaves Uraka on the ground in front of the old woman. Uraka smiles painfully. Thank you very much. Okay, let me heal you. Her lips spread kiss. Uraka, her body's wounds begin to recover very quickly. Oh, I'm healed. Falls tired to the floor. I can't move. I feel very tired. Thinking pose, snaps fingers, pointing at the old woman. That young lady. She's the youth heroine recovery girl. The backbone of the UA. Her kosei consists of the overreactivation of the regenerative factor. Thanks to her, the UA can do such dangerous events. However, it's only the overreactivation, that is, it accelerates the natural process of regeneration by consuming a lot of energy from your body. That's why you're so tired, young lady. Sparkles with pride. Extra 1, hey, but that guy. Points at Izuku. Defeated the 0 points in an incredible way. Extra 2, maybe we underestimated him too much. Extra 3, well, I think it's clear how dangerous it is at the beginning of the test. Extra 2, even so, what he did was incredible. And, while this was happening, Lita saw Izuku from a distance. Lita thinks no. They didn't understand, didn't they see it? He jumped to help the girl. There was little time left and he went to save the girl, risking his safety, and yet he didn't hesitate. If we weren't in an exam. Of course, I would have done the same. Wait. Exam? Of course? Hey. If the exam is rigged so they don't get hurt, then. Looks at Izuku. Izuku whispers, well, I'm done here, so I should go find Himiko to go home. N. Izuku leaves the combat center where the exam was held. At the exit he sees Himiko, whose clothes are covered in dirt. Izuku, Himiko, you're all dirty. Himiko, sigh, I know. But hey, I know I have enough points to pass, so getting dirty was worth it. Smiles. Izuku, then let's go home to take a bath and wash clothes. N. They both walk toward the exit. However, a skeletal-looking man stands in front of them. He looks at Himiko and then looks at Izuku. All Might, young Midoriya. Himiko, Looks at Izuku, do you know him? Izuku, with his eyes lowered, Himiko, go home. I'll be late. Himiko, huh? But. Izuku looks at Himiko threateningly with bright snake eyes. Himiko, I see. Okay. I'll see you when you get there. Continues on her way, leaving Izuku and All Might alone. All Might, young Midoriya, yo. Izuku, walks past All Might with his back to him, looks sideways at All Might. Walk. I have to take you somewhere. Continues walking. All Might, huh? Yes, yes, walks behind Izuku. The silence in the environment was noticeable. All Might didn't know what to do to calm the situation. It was clear that Izuku was angry since he kept a serious and distant look. All Might simply resigned himself to remain silent until Izuku stopped his pace. All Might stopped walking right behind Izuku. All Might looks around. Is this? Izuku, serious, I see you remember this place. All Might, yes, I remember. Looks out at the ocean, seeing a sunset. This is where I thought I'd leave you, the one for all. Izuku, then. Why did you do it? All Might clenches his fist tightly, releasing a gust of air around it. Why the hell did you get me excited? Looks at him angrily. If I wasn't good enough to inherit your power, then why hadn't you said so before? All Might, young Midoriya, you're wrong. Izuku, what are you doing? You want to apologize? Make an excuse? All Might, looks sadly at Izuku and then lowers his head in shame. Izuku looks in shock at All Might's action. KGG. Clenches his fist tightly. Aren't you going to say anything? All Might, silence. Izuku, answer me. Hits All Might in the face, throwing him to the ground, grabs All Might by the collar and then lifts him up. Tell me something at least. Am I so disappointed in you that you can't even answer me? All Might, it's not that. Izuku, so what is it? Do I bring back bad memories? Does my presence force you to return to a past you don't want to remember? All Might, no, that's not it either. Izuku, then say what it is. All Might, silence. Izuku, grhhhhh. Hits him in the face, throwing All Might to the ground again. Why the hell aren't you saying anything? Gets on top of All Might. Answer me when I ask you. Hits him in the face. Was it worth it, getting my hopes up? Hits him again in the face. Was it worth telling me I could be a hero? Hits him again in the face. Was it worth driving me to the brink of suicide? Hits All Might again in the face, drawing blood from his nose. Takes out one of his knives. Don't you have anything to say? All Might, yes. I just have to say one thing. Izuku, then say it. All Might, I'm sorry. For everything. Izuku, All Might, don't believe it if you don't want, but I'm telling the truth. Looks at him. I always wanted you to inherit my power. But Nightai, my old partner, lied to you. The one who wanted his student to inherit one for all. And that's why he lied to you. When I tried to go find you, I found out about your accident. That's why. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for not having stopped Nightai sooner. I'm sorry for not having found you sooner. I'm sorry that all of this happened. Izuku, Nightai. Thinks I remember reading about him. But I never knew what he looked like. Puts his knife to his neck. How can I believe you? All Might, I can't prove I'm telling the truth. The only thing I can do is apologize. If you want to hit me, do it. If you want to kill me, do it. I won't refuse. He extends his arms in a sign of surrender. Izuku points the tip of the knife to his neck. His hand starts to shiver. Buries his knife in the sand, next to All Might's neck. I can't kill you. Not just because you're the symbol of peace. Damn, I'm an idiot. I can't believe that I trust you. All Might sits on the sand, thinks that was close. Izuku looks at the ground. He was still angry. But for some reason, he couldn't be angry with All Might, not now. Maybe because he was his favorite hero for a long time. Or maybe because deep down he hoped nothing was All Might's fault. All Might, young Midoriya, you can still inherit one for all if you want. It's something that, in my opinion, belongs to you. Izuku, sigh. There's still a lot of trash to get rid of. Don't you think? Stays silent for a while. Looks at All Might. I'll inherit it. I'll inherit one for all. And I'll tame that Nightai, because I do deserve one for all. All Might smiles. I'm sure he will. Izuku, but not now. I want to inherit one for all before the UA Sports Festival begins. So, when the time comes, I'll show him who I am on national television. And why he shouldn't mess with me. Eyes glow bright yellow. All Might, it's okay, young Midoriya. I trust you. Extends his fist. Izuku bumps fist with All Might. Both smiled and went their separate ways. Both Izuku and All Might were happy to have reconciled. Izuku was walking to his and Himiko's house, but someone stops him. Izuku, serious. Izumi. Midoriya. I don't know why you're here. You better go home. Your mother will worry about you. Izumi, I won't do it, brother. I have to talk to you. Izuku, annoyed. So now I'm your Oni-chan, right? Funny, I thought I wasn't your brother. I thought he was just a clumsy and stupid Deku. Angry. As far as I'm concerned, We have nothing to talk about. Walks. Izumi grabs his shoulder sister. Gets a cut on his cheek and steps back. Izuku, damn it, Izumi, I already told you, we have nothing to talk about. Puts away his knives and keeps walking. Izumi, touching his bleeding cheek brother. Starts to cry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Izuku, walking seriously, it's too late for that, Izumi. Izuku turns down a few blocks to head to the arcade. He wanted to go home, but needed a distraction after his 2 previous encounters. However, as he turns down, he runs into a Muslim man with explosive hair. Katsuki, hey, Deku grabs Izuku by the collar. Why did you do that to Izumi? Izuku, seriously, you ask bombs with legs, do you even like them? Katsuki, let's go. No, I don't like her, but she's my friend and seeing her cry like that because of you broke my heart. Do you know why she treated you like that? Do you know why she hurt you? Izuku, why? Hey? Tell me why, Kachan? Was it because she wanted to protect me? TSK, what stupidity. I'm not going to swallow that stupid cheap excuse, that she wanted to protect me and that's why she had to destroy my dreams is stupid. And even if it were, what she did is not the fucking way. Takes off his jacket and sweatshirt showing a bunch of burns. Do you know what this is? All these fucking burns on my body, you didn't just do them. But most of them were done by my dear sister. Every time I came home from school, every time I got excited about something, every time I did something good. She was always there to add another nice burn to my body. Tell me, Kachan. Does a person do that because they want to protect someone? Does a person do that out of family love? Puts on clothes. I don't think so. Starts walking to leave, however, for his walk I'll make sure you see. Looks at Bakugo with a sadistic smile and a superior face that I am superior to you. Turns around to continue on his way. We'll see each other at UA. Kachan turns around the corner and disappears. Katsuki, clenching his fist. KGG. See you. Deku goes home. Izuku, it's been a week since the UA tests. Despite that, neither Himiko nor I feel nervous. I know I passed both exams, and she also knows that I passed hers. The only thing that could be said that worries me is that we are in separate classrooms. Despite that, I continue my days normally waiting for the letter from UA, although lately I have joined All Might to clean that beach. It's annoying, but it's for the community. Right now, I'm just resting on the roof of the house at night. Izuku gasps. Just thinking about everything I've done in the last 6 months makes me sleepy. But hey, those aren't things I'm going to think about right now. Himiko, Izuku, come down. Izuku, okay. Jumps down from the roof to enter through the front door. What's going on? Himiko, with 2 cards in her hands. They have arrived. Smiles. Izuku, takes his card. So this is the UA card. Himiko, do you think we should open it now? Izuku, no, I think we should open it in separate places. That way, when we find out the results, it'll be a surprise for both of us. Himiko, gulps. Good. Both of them split up, entering their respective rooms. Izuku opens the letter to take out a holographic base, from which an image of a certain MS rises. Muscle. All Might, I'm here, like a projection. Izuku, huh? But this is from UA. All Might, surprised, aren't you? Ha. The truth is, I came to this city to work at UA, leaving my agency in Shibuya in the hands of my second in command. Izuku, that's incredible. All Might, let me remind you that this is a recording and I can't hear you. But yes, it's incredible. Ha ha ha. Izuku, wait, didn't you say it was a projection? All Might, well, they're asking you internally to get to the point. Agim clears throat. You pass the practical exam, and also the physical exam. That's pretty good, but let me tell you, it's not that simple. Izuku, huh? So it didn't happen? All Might, like I said, it's not that simple. The exam didn't just add points for villains. Can a hero class reject someone who saves others and does the right thing? Of course not. That's what rescue points are for. A panel is given to the judges, who rate the basic abilities we look for at UA, and you, Izuku Midoriya, have 60 of these points. Izuku, huh? All Might, you've passed. Extends his hand. Come, young Midoriya. This is your Hero Academy. Izuku, a tear falls down his right cheek. Huh? Touches his cheek. Am I crying? Wipes the tear but another one falls again. Izuku, the hologram disappeared, ending the projection. However, tears continued to fall. Perhaps it's because I finally achieved something I'd fought so hard for. After a long journey, filled with pain and hardship. Finally, I've entered my dream academy. And, after a while, both Himiko and Izuku came out of their rooms. They both looked at each other waiting for the other's response, but when neither of them said anything, they answered at the same time. Izuku, Himiko, enter the academy, enter the academy. Himiko, really? That's great. Runs to hug Izuku. Izuku, grabs Himiko by the waist. I'm glad you came too. Separates from Himiko. Congratulations on coming in, Himiko. Himiko, congratulations on entering, Izuku. And, a few days later, nationwide classes begin. We see Izuku and Himiko standing in front of a giant door that says 1A. However, neither of them were wearing their uniforms. They were both wearing their normal clothes. Izuku, sighs, I'm sure I got hit by the foot bomb, opens the door. Himiko, don't worry, I don't think you're that unlucky, smiles. Get your feet off the table. Don't you see you're dishonoring all the heroes who sat here? Katsuki, and who the hell are you, extra? My name is Lita Tenya, I come from Sumei High School. Katsuki, Sumei? So you're one of those stuck-up guys, aren't you? Ha ha, makes explosions with his hands, I'll kill you. Lita, kill? Do you really want to be a hero? Himiko, okay, I take it back. Izuku, sighs, walks to his seat silently, but Ida notices his presence. Lita, looks at Izuku. Oh. Walks quickly towards Izuku. Nice to meet you, I'm Tenya Lita. I apologize for my behavior during the exam. You're much better than me, you even figured out the true purpose of the exam. Izuku, thinks are you talking about 0. Sai says never mind Lita, you seem like a nice guy. Extends his hand. Izuku, Midoriya, that's my name, nice to meet you. Uraka, you're the snake boy who saved me, what you did was amazing. While you were running on the robot arm, there seemed to be a snake and I was like, wah. And you were like, hey. Then, boom. With the explosion, it was amazing. She said excitedly. Izuku, with an anime-style drop, thinks I didn't understand a thing, says, thanks Uraka. Uraka, scratches her neck in embarrassment. Oh, right, your name. He, I forgot. Izuku, with an anime-style drop, really? Katsuki, huh? I'm in the same class as Deku? Shit. Izuku, and there he is, the Bomberman. Katsuki, with white eyes of anger, what did you say? Makes explosions with his hands. The last few times I let it go because we were on the street, now that we're at UA, smiles, I'll kill you. Gets up and then runs, going to deliver an explosion to Izuku, but a dagger grazes his neck along with a thin thread. Izuku, as predictable as ever, Katsuki. Himiko, with the other end of the thread tied in her hand, seriously, take one more step, and you'll die. And, the atmosphere that had been tense just a moment before had become quite tense. The pressure Himiko instilled was quite impressive, which is why no one interrupted what was happening. Then, to make things even more complicated, the door opened, revealing a long, green head of hair along with a female uniform. Izumi, look what's happening, brother. See, I see we're in the same class. What consideration, huh? He. Thinks what the hell is going on? And, the pressure Himiko instilled was greatly overshadowed by a greater pressure. A snake begins to form in the room, running across the room until it reaches Izuku's back. Izuku, I thought we talked about this, Izumi. Who the hell do you think you are? To come and tell me, brother? Walks forward. See, come on, it's the first day of school. We don't really know each other yet, so we should try to get along. Izuku and Himiko, shut up Kirishima. Kirishima, I didn't even say my name, TT. If you're coming to kill someone, you'd better get out of here. And, all the tension in the air suddenly calms. Everyone turns to look at a yellow caterpillar. Okay, now that you're all calmed down, go to your seats, classes are about to begin. And, the student sat down, obeying the caterpillar. Izuku is on his way to his place when he passes by Izumi. Izuku, walking, good luck sister, sits on his bench. Mina, well, since everything calmed down. What's a bum doing at UA? Sero, he's not a bum, he's a drug addict. Izuku, sighs, are you stupid or is it clear that it's a caterpillar? All, no, that's true. Bored sigh, I'm not a caterpillar, let me introduce myself. My name is Shota Aizawa and I'll be your teacher for the next 3 years. Looks at Himiko. You points at both the green-haired boy and his partner. I don't care if you come in uniform or not, but please keep your weapons in your holsters, the teachers might get alarmed. With that said, put on your gym clothes and let's go to the courtyard. Uraka, huh? But shouldn't they be giving some kind of lecture or orientation? Aizawa, you came here to be heroes, not for guidance. If you wanted better guidance, you should have gone to the Shiketsu. Now let's go to the courtyard. We don't have time to waste. In the yard. Aizawa, okay, before we start, you. Points at Bakugo the explosive blonde. You were first in the entrance exam, so you'll go first. Throws a ball at him. What was your score on the ball throw? Katsuki, 57 meters. Aizawa, okay, now throw the ball using your kosei. Katsuki, good. Throws the ball shine. All, shine? Aizawa, 705 meters. Denki, really? So we can use our koseis? Kirishima, that's great. Mina, this will be fun. Aizawa, fun? They'll have 3 years to learn how to be heroes. If they still think this will be fun, they're wrong. Just as students have freedom on campus, so do teachers. Whoever finishes last will be considered untalented and expelled. Mineta, huh? Uraka, but that's unfair. Izuku, the world is unfair enough, my dear Uraka. Thieves, murderers, villains, natural disasters, social status. Nothing in this world is fair, and we don't have the power to truly change it. Aizawa, well said, brat, but don't interrupt me again. Anyway, the last place student will be expelled or transferred to another class at best. So do your best. Momo, thinks it's clearly a lie, he can't expel us on the first day. Izuku, puts a hand on his shoulder, don't push your luck. Momo, looks at Izuku with doubt about the words said. Izuku, releases grip, good luck. The tests proceed as normal, with tests of strength, speed, agility, long jump, side jump, etc. Izuku placed third in most of them, and one placed second. After many tests, it was time for the final test, the throwing test. Some had already thrown, and now it was Uraka's turn. She picked up the ball and threw it, scoring an infinite number on the meter counter, leaving several people impressed. The next to throw was Aizawa, Himiko Toga. Throws the ball using her kosei. Himiko, throws the ball and then throws one of her daggers which sticks in the ball. A thin rope comes out of the dagger which wraps around Himiko's finger. She squeezes it a little, drawing blood, sacrifice blood. The blood moves until it reaches the knife, causing an explosion. Name, Himiko Toga. Kosei, sacrifice blood. The power of his daggers is to throw a rope that grabs the bearer, but to activate all its power a little blood is required from this. When the bearer gives his blood, it is absorbed by the blades, causing an explosion. Aizawa, shows the machine 704 meters. Melissa Shield, you're next. Izuku, looks at Melissa in the distance. Melissa Shield. It sounds familiar. A couple of memories from a few days ago come to Izuku's mind. Izuku, cuts a refrigerator in half with his knife, looks at All Might niece. All Might, that's right, her name is Melissa Shield. She's coming to UA on a recommendation. Izuku, the name sounds familiar. Well, what does it matter? Sighs, she's lucky, it must be great. You get in by recommendation. You skip all the hassle of the practical exam. All Might, you know she was like you. Izuku, thinks, did this become Naruto or what? All Might, she was considered a Mukasei almost all her life, but recently she awakened her kosei and decided to enter the UA. Izuku, I'd heard of a couple of cases of delayed activation, which are divided into activation by time and activation by feelings. Do you know which one it was? All Might, I really don't know. It would be easy to say it was a late activation, but I know the average is between 2 and 3 years after age 4. Izuku, okay, anyway. Who's her father? If you consider her your niece, her father must be someone pretty important. All Might, is my good friend, David Shield. Izuku, David Shield? The one who designed your Silver Age suits? All Might, that's right. Izuku, I guess it'd be interesting to have her daughter as a companion. But what if she sounds so familiar? We return to the present time where Izuku was still thinking. Izuku, thinking, no, it's not because of that conversation that sounds familiar. Well, what does it matter? According to All Might, she recently awakened her kosei, so I don't think she'll be able to unleash the full potential of her power. At least not all that she could give. Melissa, throws the ball in the air and a green shield comes out of her hand and hits the ball with it. Name, Melissa Shield. Kosei, Soul of Athena. With his kosei he can summon as many shields both in the air and in his hands as he wants. These can come in different forms to be used both for attack and defense, but this requires the energy of the person. Melissa sits on the floor panting. That was exhausting. Aizawa, 500 meters. Approaches Melissa. You did well, go rest. Melissa leaves Izuku. Midoriya, come to the front. Izuku steps forward and stands in the circle. Izuku, preparing the ball. Aizawa, Midoriya, you better use your kosei. In this entire test, you haven't used your kosei even once. I don't know if it's because you underestimate everyone here, but if you don't use your kosei, you'll be expelled immediately. Izuku, serious sighs. Why do you say those things, Aizawa-sensei? You already know what I am. Throws the ball up, steps back quickly. Scontro di Serpento starts running, leaving a snake trail, and then jumps and kicks the ball hard, reaching at least 706 meters. Aizawa, serious with red eyes and his hair raised. I see. So it was true. Izuku, smiles. You tried to erase my kosei, didn't you, Aizawa-sensei? Or should I say erase your head? JM, you know very well that that's useless, because I don't have a kosei. Several students' eyes widened in shock, except for a few who already knew. Several students were thinking, so how the hell did he get into the academy? What about that snake? Why does it look so confident? Or why does it seem so impressive? Aizawa smiles with pride and slight emotion, thinks this boy. He really is amazing. Despite not having a kosei, his abilities and whatever those snakes are surprising. Says well, his points will be published. First appeared Todoroki Shota, second Katsuki Bakugo, third Izuku Midoriya, and so on until reaching the last place. Minoru Mineta. Mineta, no. Kneels on the ground because I couldn't even see the girls. Izuku walks up to stand behind Mineta with a murderous glare. You seriously disgust me, stop being so pathetic. Grabs Mineta by the shirt and let me kick you out of UA. Aizawa, walking past Midoriya. The expulsion thing was a lie. Almost everyone, huh? Momo, sigh. It was obviously a lie, it's impossible that we were expelled on the first day. Izuku, sigh. Whispers. I told you not to push your luck. Releases Mineta. Besides, it's clearly a double lie. After all, Aizawa is a legend at UA, known for expelling an entire class just for not having potential. Most people tense up at what Izuku said. Kirishima, oh, hey then. Could he really have expelled us? Izuku, I guess we're lucky. Aizawa saw potential in everyone. Looks at Mineta, though I don't know what the hell he saw in you. Aizawa thinks, how is he so knowledgeable? As far as I know, students don't have time to interact with upperclassmen on the first day. Says anyway, class is over. Go home and get ready for tomorrow. Things are going to be hectic. At the end of the school day, the students return to the classroom to grab their things and head home. On the way back, we see Izuku walking with Toga, Melissa, who decided to accompany them, and Lita, who had a couple of questions. Lita, you know, Midoriya, I've been wondering about this for a while. You say you don't have a kosei, but what are those snakes then? Izuku, it's a mystery as big as All Might's kosei. Uraka, hey. Wait. Everyone turns their gaze back to see Uraka and Izumi, who were running in their direction. When they reach them, they stop to catch their breath. Izumi, panting, are you heading to the station? Lita, that's right, are you too? Uraka, that's right, I wanted to go with you and thank Deku-kun again for saving me. Scratch his head. Izumi, did you call him Deku? Worried and scared. Uraka, that's right, I heard the explosive blonde called you Deku and I thought about calling him that. Smiles. Izumi, hey. Uraka, Deku means useless, it's the nickname that Kachan gave to Mayoni-chan when we were little. Izuku, serious, that's right. Uraka, really? Saddens, I didn't think it was a nickname to discourage you. Smiles, but you know what? To me it sounds like you can do it, so. Do you mind if I call you that? Izuku, smiles resignedly, I don't care, I'm mature enough to be bothered by a nickname, so call me whatever you want. Kenya, by the way Midoriya, what is your house like? Silence reigns for a moment. Izumi looks away feeling uncomfortable, while Himiko prepares to answer that they live together, however, Izuku stops her. Izuku, serious sighs, do you know what the destiny of the Mukasei is? Uraka, living a happy, normal life while being protected by heroes? Izuku, I wish. The fate of the Mukasei is total hell. Contempt, hatred, exile. The Mukasei are treated like garbage while most heroes don't give a damn what happens to them. My mother, the heroine 14 pounds per square inch green, was no exception. She abandoned me when I was 4 years old just for not having a Mukasei. Izumi, B, but bro. That's not true, she didn't abandon you. She. Izumi is interrupted by a giant snake that appears behind her. Izumi is paralyzed as the snake moves around her. Izuku, didn't she abandon me? Clenches his fist tightly. Do you really think that shit isn't abandonment? She stopped feeding me, she sold all my fucking things including my clothes. For shit's sake, I had to pick up clothes from the trash, Izumi. Do you still think she didn't abandon me? Sarcastic. If that's like that, then, thank you mother. Thank you for feeding me every day, thank you for letting me sleep in a comfortable bed, thank you for not letting me get cold. Izuku takes a deep breath, controlling his anger. You really think I owe you gratitude after everything you put me through? Slashes the air with precision, narrowly avoiding Izumi. The pole breaks in half and falls to the ground, leaving a large crater in the floor. Izuku calms down, sighs, puts away his knives. The fate of the Mukasei is always the same. It will always be the same, hatred and exile, and sadly, there's nothing we can do. Turns around. I'm going to buy something and come back. Please wait for me. Izuku walks away, leaving Izumi sad and scared. He collapses, touching the cut on his cheek. Lita, wow. That was intense. Melissa, don't even mention it, I didn't think something like this would happen. Uraka, poor Deku, I didn't think he had such a hard childhood. Izumi starts crying. I'm sorry bro, I'm so sorry. Covers his face while crying. I shouldn't have hurt you so much. I'm sorry. Lita, Midoriya-san, are you okay? Crouches down next to Izumi. Izumi, no. Wipes away tears a little. When my brother and I went to the doctor to see what our Mukasei were, we discovered that he didn't have Mukasei. I worried so much. I knew that if he tried to become a hero he would get hurt, that's why I wanted him to give up his dream of being a hero. But I didn't do it the best way. I began to harm him physically and psychologically so that he would give up that dream, but he never gave up. And now that he can be one, I want him to forgive me. But I know he won't. Wipes away tears again. I hurt him a lot. Melissa, and I don't know what to say. Lita, Midoriya-san. Toga, sighs. You're right, he'll never forgive you. All you do is lie on the floor and cry. PFF, how pathetic you are. Kicks him in the face, knocking Izumi to the ground. Izumi, uck. On the ground, she touches her face, seeing that her nose started bleeding. Lita and Melissa, Midoriya-san. Both go to Izumi's to see if he was okay. He had nosebleeds due to the kick, but other than that he was fine. Lita, Toga-san, I know Midoriya did something wrong, but... Himiko, what the hell? Do you think I should have been gentler? This bitch tortured her brother for almost his entire life. She's lucky he doesn't hit her anymore. Melissa, it's true that she did something horrible, but she shows remorse. Himiko, what does that matter to me? Anyone can show remorse. But if you break glass and regret breaking it, the glass will still be broken. Listen to me, Izumi Midoriya. I can't put feelings in Izuku's heart, so I don't know if he'll ever forgive you. But it doesn't matter if he forgives you or not. I will always hate you. Izuku, Himiko. Himiko, Izuku? Izuku walks until he's close to Himiko. I don't care what you feel for Izumi. Touches her shoulder with his killer instinct activated and looking at her with a murderous look. But don't fight my battles for me. Himiko, I'm sorry, but I did what I thought was best. Izuku lets go of Himiko's shoulder as he returns to normal. It's okay Himiko, I'm not judging you. Anyway. Hands her a couple of bags here. Lita, Midoriya-kun, what's in that bag? Izuku, food, today it's my turn to cook. Sighs, it's a pain. Himiko, cooking is tiring, it was your turn. But why are you handing me the bags? Izuku, you made me realize I should talk to Izumi. So go home. I'll be back in a bit. Himiko, okay, but please don't come back late. And don't even think about going to Hasu. Izuku, sigh, it's okay. I won't go to Hasu, I swear. Himiko, smiles, you better. Izuku, thinks and says it with a smile. The other boys continued on their way while Izuku and Izumi stayed together. Izuku helps Izumi up and gives him something to clean the blood from his nose. Izumi wipes all the blood. Thanks bro. Izuku sighs. Listen, Izumi, you and I should talk. But not here. There's a park a few blocks away. Let's talk there. Izuku and Izumi walk for a while until they reach an old park that overlooked the sunset. In some places, there were many children playing, and in others, mothers were talking. Izuku and Izumi sit on a bench watching the sunset. Izuku, it's a beautiful sunset, don't you think? Izumi, nervous, why? Yes. Sighs, I know what you want to talk about. And, I know that at some point we have to have this conversation, but Izuku, don't say anything else, Izumi. I know why you hurt me all that time. But it's clearly not the right way. Clenching his fist, every wound, every burn you did to me still hurts like hell. Izumi, I'm sorry, says sadly. Izuku, sighs, stands, the reason why I wanted to talk to you, is to tell you that I am not willing to forgive you. Izumi,
I imagined it.
A tear begins to fall from her eyes. Izuku, but if you want to earn my forgiveness, I won't stop you. Glances at Izumi, the future is and always will be indecisive, Izumi. Looks ahead again, that's the only thing I can tell you, Izumi. Now let's go. I'll take you home. Your mother will worry if you're late. Gets up from the bench to start walking forward. Izumi, wait, bro stops him by grabbing his sleeve. You're living with that girl, aren't you? Izuku, yes, I'm living in Himiko's house. Izumi, I see, hugs Izuku from behind. Oni-chan, I promise I will earn your forgiveness because I love you. Izuku is surprised and sheds a betrayed tear because he always wanted to hear that word from his sister L. Let's go, Izumi, there's no time left, your mother will worry. Izumi, happy, yes, grabs Izuku's arm, settling into it. Izuku looks to the other side with a little annoyance but hiding his tear. Izumi thinks, Izuku, I know I might not be able to make you come home, and I know you'll never reciprocate my feelings. But it doesn't matter. Because I'm happy just being by your side. Izuku left Izumi at his house and returned to his own with the intention of sleeping a little while thinking about what happened today. Izuku, sigh, today was a long day. Takes off his clothes to put on snake pattern pajamas. Sigh, I have to get a job. Throws himself down on the bed and closes his eyes, intending to sleep. The next day at UA. Izuku, how strange, the teacher is taking a long time to arrive. All Might, I'm coming in. Like a normal person. All Might surprised. Izuku, with a drop of sweat on his forehead, that's not normal, master. All Might, okay guys, today you'll be real heroes because today you'll do combat training. Katsuki, training. Smiling confidently. Izuku, combat, smiling confidently. All Might, that's right, all pro heroes need to know how to fight with the advantages and disadvantages of their suits, which is why they'll be using them. Hits the wall revealing the suits. These suits are made to your measurements and disposition, so put them on and go to City A. All Might gives everyone their suits to put on after that in the men's locker room. Mineta, look, guys, here's the legacy our senpais left us. Pointing to a hole in the wall. Sero, it seems like there's a jerk for every generation. Tenya, Mineta. Perversion is wrong. Izuku, leaning against a wall hump. Mineta, I don't care, I'll focus on learning from everyone, Momo's intelligence, Mina's energy, Jiru's musical skills, Tsuyu's calm nature, Uraka's resolve. Izuku, his eyes become like a snake's and he takes out his knife. Mineta, Izumi's confident attitude. Izuku starts walking, the giant snake slithering behind him. Mineta, about to look at the wall and especially Himik's erotic body. Crashes against the ceiling. Izuku, with his leg raised implying that he was the one who kicked Mineta, lowers his leg before learning to be a hero, turns around and starts to walk away, learns to be human. On the girl's side. Jiru, sighs, how lucky, Midoriya saved us. Izumi, my brother? Jiru, that's right, according to what I heard, he crashed Mineta into the ceiling. Hagakure, thanks Midoriya. I would have been a little embarrassed if they had seen me. Girls, why, yes. After a while, all the students of Class 1A with their respective hero costumes. All Might, everyone looks fantastic, makes a confused face, and young Midoriya? Izuku, walking, I'm here. Master. Izuku comes out wearing a long, open gray jacket with a black snake print on the back, a snake necklace, 2 fingerless gloves, his signature military combat knife sheathed at his hips, a white t-shirt, and a black sweatshirt. Basically his usual clothes. Kirishima, hey. Midoriya, that's your regular clothes. You're supposed to come in your hero suit. Izuku, serious sigh, it's the only clothes I have, besides it's the clothes I like the most. All Might, okay, everyone looks fantastic. So remember, from now on you're heroes. All Might begins to explain the hero training in detail. Basically, there are several teams of 2 people. One team will be the villains and the other will be the heroes. The villains will have a bomb, the heroes must either capture the villains or touch the bomb to win. The teams are chosen at random. After explaining the rules, the teams were chosen. All Might, well shonens and shoujos, it's time for the first fight that will be between Uraka Ochako and Izuku Nidoriya, and Katsuki Bakugo and Lita Tenya will enter the building to begin. In a random building, we can see Izuku and Uraka at the entrance. Ready for their tests. Uraka, well, Deku-kun, let's try hard. Izuku, smiles confidently, oh, of course we're going to try our best. Any test where I can physically destroy Katsuki is worth the effort. Oh, yeah, by the way, Uraka. What's your kosei? Uraka, ho? My kosei? My kosei is 0 gravity, I can remove gravity from things and people just by touching them, and I can also give it back by putting my fingertips together. Izuku, I see. Now that I have all the information, I have an idea for how to win this. Listen, the Muslim will most likely come after me since he thinks I have too much pride or something. So while I fight him, you go to the bomb and hold Ida back as long as you can. If you can touch the bomb, do it. When I say now, I'm sure you'll know what to do. Uraka, it's okay. I trust your strategy, Deku-kun. All Might, alright, let's get started. Uraka and Izuku run inside the building. A loud explosion is heard, followed by several explosions in a row. Izuku looks at Uraka. Izuku, here it comes. You go ahead and go to Lita's place. When the time comes, we'll act. Uraka, yes. Runs down a hallway leaving Izuku alone. Katsuki, Deku. Throws an explosion in his face, quickly throws a punch at Izuku. Izuku, dodges and blocks a hit, smiles, I was waiting for you. Kachan looks at him with his snake eyes, our battle begins now.